The fifth topic we have to cover in SL Biochemistry is vitamins. This is quite a short section in your textbook. There are only 4 real bullet points we need to cover on this topic. Vitamins are a kind of nutrient. A nutrient is a molecule an organism needs to eat or to absorb in order to maintain its health or metabolism. And there are different kinds of nutrients that are categorized based off of their recommended daily intake. Macronutrients are nutrients you need a lot of, like protein or carbohydrate in your diet, whereas micronutrients are needed in extremely small amounts. And vitamins and minerals are micronutrients. You only need a very small amount of them in your diet to stay healthy. But it is critically important to get them in your diet because they are important for the functioning of enzymes, hormones that are necessary for metabolism. Therefore, if you don't get enough of the vitamins and minerals, you suffer what's called a deficiency disease. For the purposes of IB chemistry, you only need to know about vitamins, not minerals. And vitamins are different to minerals in that they are organic micronutrients. They have a hydrocarbon structure to them. Vitamins are generally not synthesized in the body, although vitamin D is an exception. They can be water-soluble or fat-soluble, and we'll talk about water-soluble vitamins first. Water-soluble vitamins are water-soluble because they have functional groups that can hydrogen bond with water. They are absorbed quickly by the body, and any excess that you eat in your diet is filtered out of your blood by the kidneys, so you don't have to worry about a buildup of these water-soluble vitamins in your body. They're generally more sensitive to heat than fat-soluble vitamins, but pretty much any vitamin will lose some activity due to heat, but the water-soluble vitamins are more susceptible. So if we look at this picture here, which shows the structure of vitamin C, we can see that this is a water-soluble vitamin by looking at its structure. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 hydroxyl groups that can hydrogen bond with water. And additionally, there are 2 oxygens with their non-bonding electron pairs that can also participate in hydrogen bonding with water. This here is a pentagonal ring structure. It's represented in a kind of linear way here, although it is a ring structure, and you'll see that on the last slide of this presentation, the more traditional pentagonal shape. So let's look at more detail in vitamin C. It is water-soluble, and these functional groups, the carbon-carbon double bonds and the hydroxyl groups, are easily oxidized. Therefore, the processes that we do to food in order to package and to store them tend to destroy vitamin C. Because of this, fresh fruits and vegetables are the best source of vitamin C, not packaged, frozen, canned fruits and vegetables. You don't need to memorize the structure of vitamin C. It's given to you in your data booklet with vitamins A and D. But you should be able to look at the structure and predict the solubility of these vitamins from their structure. So we've already looked at the vitamin C structure in detail. Let's contrast it with vitamins A and D, which are fat-soluble. So here are the structures for vitamin A and vitamin D. Vitamin A has just this one hydroxyl group, and the rest of the molecule is only made up of hydrogens and carbons, so a long hydrocarbon chain with just one hydroxyl group. Similarly, vitamin D has just one hydroxyl group and then a long hydrocarbon chain and ring structure. Because the vast majority of these molecules contain only carbons and hydrogens, these are fat-soluble molecules, not water-soluble, and they are absorbed slowly in the body. Because they're fat-soluble, they're not so easily filtered out of the body by your kidneys. Therefore, there is a possibility of overdosing on these vitamins, and there can be serious side effects if you have too much of these vitamins stored in your fat. I'm hoping that when you look at vitamin D here, this structure looks familiar to you. It hopefully reminds you of the structure of cholesterol. And in fact, vitamin D is synthesized in your body based off of a cholesterol starting molecule. And then in the presence of sunlight, your body can convert a cholesterol molecule into vitamin D. So vitamin D is one vitamin that our bodies can make on their own. However, since it does require sunlight, the modern day lifestyle of sitting inside on your computer or on your phone means that some people do experience vitamin D deficiencies just because they don't get enough sunlight. And this is why we vitamin fortify milk so that people do get enough vitamin D, because we fortify our foods like milk with vitamin D. So let's talk about not getting enough vitamins in your diet. Malnutrition is the absence of a regular, balanced supply of diverse nutrients. This includes vitamin deficiencies, and it's always associated with compromised health and increased morbidity. Traditionally, we think of malnutrition as being something that happens in poor countries where people don't have enough food to eat. And that is still the case. However, we now also associate malnutrition with eating energy-dense, micronutrient-poor foods. So obese people can be malnourished. If you have a diet of potato chips, you're getting plenty of calories, you're getting plenty of energy, but you're not getting enough micronutrients. You're not getting the variety of vitamins that you need in order to stay healthy. And so there is a different kind of malnutrition that is maybe less obvious to people. So what are these causes of global malnutrition? A lack of distribution of global resources. Some countries have food, other countries don't. We need to find ways to move that food to the people who need it most. Intense agriculture depletes nutrients in the soil, and when that happens, then kind of the fifth crop that you plant in a field contains fewer vitamins and nutrients than the first crop that you planted in that field, because you're using up the nutrients in the soil over time. There is a lack of education and understanding about the importance of a balanced diet. We tend to overprocess our foods for transport and for storage, and those processed foods contain fewer vitamins than having fresh fruits and vegetables. And there's some concern that chemical treatments like herbicides and pesticides can reduce the vitamin content of food. So how do we overcome these problems of global malnutrition? One solution is to vitamin fortify your food. As I mentioned earlier, vitamin D is added to milk, vitamin A is added to margarine. To ensure that people get enough vitamins, your breakfast cereals are fortified with all kinds of minerals and vitamins. There are vitamin supplements that people can take to make sure that they get enough micronutrients in their diet. Scientists are looking at genetically modifying food crops in order to increase their nutrient content. And in order to just increase awareness, we can have better education and we can label our foods better with the actual vitamin content of foods and how much of each particular micronutrient is needed in a healthy diet. You do not need to know the specific food sources or names of these deficiency diseases, but I wanted to just kind of give you an overview of what these different diseases are that can be caused by these micronutrient deficiencies. Vitamin A is found in orange and yellow fruits and vegetables. It's important for healthy eyesight. Vitamin C is found in fresh fruits and vegetables. It's important for wound healing. Vitamin D, your body makes when you're in the sunshine, and it's important for healthy bones. And here's an example of a child who has rickets with malformed bones. Here are some practice questions from the textbook, which you can pause the slide and look at those and work those out. And if you need the structures for the vitamins, they're here on the next slide. And then you'll want to pause the slideshow here, because on the next slide it explains which vitamins are water soluble and why. So pause it now. And now we are done. I hope this helped.